How's everybody doing today? This is Zach Allen, and we're going to do a swing analysis of Sean Foley, Tiger's new golf instructor, and of course Mr. Tiger Woods. So we have both these guys from the face-on view hitting a 7-iron, and just to start off, you can see a pretty big difference in their setup positions. You can tell by the lines I have drawn at address over their club shaft and over the outside of their right foot, that Sean has more weight forward at address with his hands forward. Okay, Tiger's probably sitting more 50-50 with his weight distribution, and the shaft's in a more vertical or neutral position. You can also tell just as the line crosses their head, Tiger's got his head slightly behind the ball, where Sean's got his head more on top of it. It's really an interesting study just for the fact that these are the changes that they're already working into Tiger's golf swing, but these are also changes that you can implement into your golf swing to help you hit your irons better. You're going to notice that this whole setup, that Sean employs is going to help him make a more centered golf swing on top of the ball. You can also even tell with Sean, how he has his feet turned out at address. Those are all things that help him turn his hips and shoulders in a very tight circle and stay on top of the golf ball. So as you watch here, as Sean goes back, you're going to see he stays very centered, and his hands and arms are pretty into him. What that means is his hand path is working more inside. As we look at Tiger Woods here taking the golf club back, you're going to notice it's going to look a little bit different here. He's going to make a little move into his right side, a little shift into his right side to start his backswing. You can see the head moving off that initial line. But then also you can see here a little different look to his arms and his body compared to what we saw earlier here with Sean Foley. So as we look at those backswings again, a little different here. Definitely some more lines here with where their spine angle is. Sean's got his spine pretty much just straight up and down,
where Tiger's got his line leaning to the right in the target. And like we talked about here, this is something that's going to cause a little bit of a timing issue, because as he shifts his spine and his head back and forth, he's got to be able to do that time and time again, which, he does a pretty good job at. Obviously, he's Tiger Woods, and he's made it work. But they're going to definitely be trying to make a more centered turn to see if they can take some of the moving parts out of his golf swing. You also notice as we get Tiger up to the top here, there's a little different look in their top of backswing position. And more specifically, like we talked about, Tiger's got more movement in his right side, but he has a little different look to his arms and club. As we continue with Sean up to the top here, you can see his hands and arms are definitely more into his body, more inward backswing. But you also notice the difference in the club face positions. So I'm going to draw a little circle here, but if you look at their club face positions, they look a little different. And the biggest difference there, if you look at Tiger's here, his club face is what it's called toe down, or toe hang, which just means it's a pretty open position. The reason why it's open is because he had a lot more arm and hand rotation in the club face, which from there he's going to have to set that up and close it up to hit the ball straight. If you look at Sean's, his left wrist is a little flatter, and the club face is in a more square or neutral position at the top of his backswing. So really some important keys there in becoming a consistent iron player. Like as we see them both at the top, Sean still has not moved any closer to that original hip line that we drew on the outside of his right hip, where Tiger has definitely moved a little bit closer to that original line. So all that needs to be timed on the way through. Also, as well as the closing of the club face. So a couple things to take there. As you're hitting your irons, if you can kind of feel more centered and let your hands and arms work more inward with less rotation or roll to the club face, that should really help take some of the moving parts out of your iron swing. Too much club rotation is tough to time in terms of the squaring and turning up of the hands to make the ball go straight, and too much lateral movement back and forth give you an inconsistent low point. The low point just means where your club bottoms out or hits the ground. So give those things a try and see if they help you become a more consistent iron player.
If you have any more questions, feel free to visit my website at zachallengolf.com.